The most important part is you're a professional athlete in the Scottish Highland Games, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You can throw a lot of weight around. You're 50 years old, almost a few months shy, and you're injury free. So let's talk about that. Give me like 1, 2, or 3 reasons why you're injury free in that regard, on like throwing heavy weights around and being 50.
Well, I think where most people start off wrong is they're in too much of a rush to see results, right? And you have to take the time to learn the technique, to learn how to lift the weights properly. So don't be in such a rush to see those results in a couple of weeks. Take a few months to really learn how to squat properly, how to deadlift properly, how to bench press properly, and that's really one big key to staying injury free. It's just proper technique and full range of motion.
Okay, you mentioned full range of motion. What do you mean? Stretching? What do you mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, aside from static stretching, just full range movement in the lift. So when you squat, I go ass to grass squat. So I break parallel, and for me, it's been the best thing for my knees and my hips and my ankles. In these past 30 years, my squat stance has not changed because I learned how to do those full depth squats. Same thing with bench press. I mean, I go the full range. I don't stop halfway. I come down, I touch my chest, and I press back up again. It's the same thing with behind the neck press. I mean, I train the flexibility by doing those full range movements.
I love that you mentioned that. The people say that, oh, you're young, you can get away from it. No, that's just a general principle. And I love that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Every single move has to be performed to the extreme range of motion, because I have an exercise science degree. So I can tell you that most injuries happen in the extremes range of motions, not in the in between, when you go too low or too high. But if you train in those extremes, your body is just used to it. It's just a everyday normal situation. Why would you get hurt if you do something that you're kind of used to? So
exactly. You have to lengthen the muscles. If you don't go full range of motion, the muscles and your tendons and joints are just going to get shorter and tighter. So by going full range of motion, you're keeping them, nice and stretched and loose.
I literally I have really good mobility. When I spend about 5 minutes of static stretching, maybe a month, maybe. My stretching happens underneath the bar, underneath the dumbbells, inside the exercise itself, with kettlebells, with balls, whatever. But by going full range of motion, I don't need to stand there and reach for my toes for half an hour before or after the workout, because inside the workout itself, it's a whole stretching and strengthening at the same time routine. And I think that's so important, because people always think about strengthening the muscle. In the gym, you should focus also on strengthening the ligaments, tendons, and joints themselves. And you do that through full range of motion. Would you agree with that?
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.